listen to that. That single, chilling transmission. That's where our story kicks off. And this isn't some far-off sci-fi tale. We're talking about something that feels like it could happen just around the corner. So today, we're going to unpack a scenario that feels like it's been ripped straight from the headlines of tomorrow. We're going to explore how a melting Arctic could ignite one of the most intense global crises of our time. You ready? Let's dive in. Okay, before we jump into the story, there's a term you've got to get: geopolitical flashpoint. Because, well, that's exactly what Greenland becomes in our story. And look, while what we're about to lay out is a speculative scenario, it's totally grounded in real-world pressures that are building up in the Arctic as we speak. All right, let's set the scene. It's Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, January 2026. And things are tense. You can feel it in the air. The streets are already filled with the sounds of protest. And that's the chant you're hearing, echoing through the capital. It's the voice of Greenlandic citizens, and they're demanding a say in their own future. A future they feel is being decided for them, by people thousands of miles away. And this slide, it really gets to the heart of the problem. You see, there's this delicate and honestly super fragile balance. On one hand, Greenland is an autonomous territory. But on the other, Denmark still calls the shots on defense and foreign policy. It's a holdover from a colonial past. And this complex relationship, well, it's the fault line where this whole crisis is about to erupt. And then, boom, the spark. Right in the middle of all these protests, some breaking news hits that just shatters everything. A deal has been made about Greenland, but get this, completely without Greenland's consent. The world is stunned, and the protesters, they are in absolute shock. So just like that, what started as a local protest explodes. It's not local anymore. It's a high-stakes international chess match, and all the major world players start making their moves, fast. And here, you can just see everyone's competing agendas laid bare, right? You've got Denmark scrambling, trying to walk this impossible diplomatic tightrope. Then there's NATO. All they care about is military strategy, Russian subs moving north. And the US? Well, their private chats tell the real story. It's all about securing those rare earth minerals and the new shipping lanes opening up because the ice is melting. That's the real prize. This quote from a young Greenlandic politician named Malik Petersen just nails it. It so perfectly sums up the core injustice of the whole thing. For the big powers in Washington, Brussels, and Copenhagen, Greenland is just a topic, a strategy, a resource. It's never a partner. They're never actually at the table. Okay, so this is where things take a turn. We're shifting from a political drama to something more like a tense thriller. Why? Because a Greenlandic journalist, Aana Larsen, she decides she's going to find out what's really going on. And she heads straight for that silent research post we heard about in the opening, Station Ice 7. And what she finds inside this half-submerged abandoned station is absolutely explosive. The data files they left behind reveal 3 massive secrets. First, the ice melt. It's happening way faster than anyone is admitting publicly, and it's opening up a brand new super important shipping corridor. Second, because of that melt, a massive deposit of rare earth minerals is now reachable for the very first time. And third, and this is the kicker, multiple countries had already run secret military studies on this exact spot. The climate scientist who's with Aana just sums it up perfectly. He says, look, the official story is all about defense and security, but the reality, what the data actually shows, it's a frantic, secret resource grab, a gold rush, basically. And that changes everything. Well, you know what they say. Secrets this big, they don't stay secret for long. So when the info from Ice 7 gets leaked to the world, the fallout is immediate, and it is severe. Just look at how fast things spiral out of control. We're talking within a single week. Day 1, tariffs start flying, that's economic warfare. Day 3, NATO starts to publicly fracture over the US deal. By day 5, the government in Greenland is issuing emergency guidelines. And by day 7, they're running civilian evacuation drills in the capital. This isn't some abstract political problem anymore, it's real. Right at the peak of all this tension, that politician, Malik Petersen, he gives this unscheduled, totally fiery speech to Greenland's parliament. And this quote from it becomes the emotional heart of the whole crisis. It goes viral. It galvanizes the people of Greenland on a global stage. It's really just a raw declaration of sovereignty in the face of unbelievable pressure. And all of this brings us to the final act. The entire world is on a knife's edge. And the people of Greenland, they are now facing an impossible, absolutely history-defining decision. Because the full data leak, it confirms everyone's absolute worst fears. Any plausible deniability is just gone. It proves the secret back-channel talks, the plans to exploit their resources, even the military scenarios that assumed they'd just move civilians out of the way. It was all real. For the people of Greenland, there's no more doubt about what the world really wants. So this is the final choice, right? The ultimate question. Do they stick with Denmark? I mean, yeah, it's protection, but it's a flawed protection that didn't stop any of this from happening. Or do they take a massive leap and declare independence, standing all alone right at the exact moment the world's superpowers are circling like sharks? I mean, think about it. What would you do? And that journalist, Aana Larsen, she really captures this whole paradigm shift. She says, the world always thought the ice protected Greenland, but that's not quite right. The ice kept the world away. It was a barrier holding back all the ambitions and complexities of the modern world. But now, that barrier is literally melting. And all the old rules, all the old assumptions, they're melting away right along with it. Which leaves us with this final, kind of sobering thought. The Arctic is no longer frozen. And you know what? Neither is the conflict. As the landscape itself changes, it's unleashing not just resources and shipping routes, but old ambitions and brand new fights. What was once frozen is now, in a way, on fire. And that's a new reality that's going to define a huge part of the 21st century.